Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, my name is Marta. I moved to Japan in January to teach English, and I am leaving Japan in a few days.
How did you like living in Japan?
I really liked it. When I first moved here, I thought it was going to be very different. Everyone kept warning me like, oh, it's going to be really hard. It's a different country. It's a different culture. Like, no one's going to understand you. Everyone's going to think you're weird and judge you. And all of those things were true to some extent, but like, I think everybody made it seem so negative that when I got here, I was like, oh, it's kind of just like normal. Like, it's it's just like a normal place, not like a different world or anything. Yeah.
I guess thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have any difficulty living in Japan?
Yes, there were a lot of difficult things. For example, I lived in an apartment that's not like the most high class, and obviously Japan is a very humid country. So there ended up being a lot of mold in my apartment. And that's not something I had like a whole lot of experience with before I came here. So it kind of freaked me out. And I spent a lot of time thinking I was going to die in that apartment. But it worked out okay in the end. In terms of like speaking Japanese, it was more or less okay, but I'm like a very self-conscious person, so when a lot of people like look at me, like when I walk down the street and stuff, I feel really embarrassed. I know it's like normal and it's not like because of me personally, but I did sometimes feel like I just don't want to be seen by people today.
You speak some Japanese?
Only a little bit.
No! What made you interested in learning Japanese?
When I was in high school, in my English literature class, we read a book that was not English literature. It was Dazai Osamu's Ningen Shikaku, and obviously English translation. And I really, really liked it. And when I went to university, I had the chance to study a language, and I kind of chose Japanese, not randomly, but just like, oh, maybe if I study it, I'll be able to read this book in Japanese someday. And then I really liked it, so I kept studying it.
Do you like Japanese food?
Yes, I really like Japanese food. It's like very different from the food that I'm used to. There's a lot of Japanese restaurants in the States, so a lot of the stuff I tried, at least a good portion of the stuff I tried here, I'd already tried before in the US. But my mom is Polish and she doesn't really venture into many other cuisines. So when she came here to visit me, she kept saying like, oh, it's so strange, like when we got soba, it's only noodles. In US or Europe, when you get a meal, it's like you get vegetables, meat, carbs, like always 3 things. But here, the like structure of meals is different. Or, I mean, obviously if you get like a bento, then you'll have like protein and vegetables and rice.
Did you miss anything from the US or Poland?
I did miss a lot of things. I missed pizza, like fast food pizza. You have Domino's and Pizza Hut here, but they're like strange. I ordered a Hawaiian pizza from Domino's thinking it would just be like ham and pineapple, but it was a ham and pineapple and corn and onion. But why? Hawaiian pizza is only pineapple and ham. It's not that it's bad, like it tastes good, it's just not the same. Just the cheese here is different too. But there's a lot of things I don't miss, like the prices for food in the US. Food in Japan is a lot cheaper and better quality.
What was it like to work in Japan?
It was good. It was definitely a experience that I will remember, and I learned a lot in these last 9 months that I've spent working here. One thing that I really struggled with was the whole like honmai tatemae.
Honne to tatemae.
Honne to tatemae. I'm not good at hiding my emotions. And when I feel something, you can really read it on my face. So when I was unhappy, like, people know I'm unhappy. So that was difficult.
What was the happiest moment in
There's a lot, but I think the one moment I always think back on was when I first arrived in Okayama. Like, my first morning, I woke up in Japan in the training center for my work. And it was like 9 a.m. and I had to be like at the training center at 11. And I went out and I went to Lawson and I bought a granola bar, yogurt, and like a sandwich with fruit, you know, like a fruit cream sandwich. And I was just so happy. Like, I was like, this is it. Like, I'm in Japan and I'm shopping at a convenience store. Like, in that moment, I thought, even if this all goes terribly, it'll be worth it just to have done this one thing.
What's your favorite convenience stuff?
I don't like convenience stores that much because of like that first 2 weeks. I only ate bentos from Lawson, and then it turned me off bento from convenience stores for like the rest of my time here. I like the 7-Eleven smoothies a lot, and I like the 7-Eleven coffee, and I like the 7-Eleven mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Speaking of food, could you tell the viewers about our thing?
Sure. So within the first 2 months of me being at my office, Ellie, she went to Costco and she brought me back a Black Thunder, not this book, and it was so good. I don't like chocolate bars. I'm not a big candy person, but it was just like an Oreo, but like the perfect version. I tried it and I loved it, and I bought like a whole pack. And then Ellie told me that like there's a lot of different flavors, but some of them are rare. So then whenever I went out, I would like look for different Black Thunder flavors in stores. And I ended up finding like a lot of different flavors, and we would like taste them and rank them out of 5 stars. So I think Ellie really liked this toast one. I really liked the hazelnut almond one. So it was just like a fun experiment. We did try so many. I would recommend Black Thunder to any foreigner who's watching this video. The number 1 flavor is the original. This is not sponsored, but if Black Thunder were to sponsor this channel, we would be very grateful. This is an open for a sponsorship.
Okay, so shall we try the
Yeah,
3?
so with this book, I also included 3 new flavors that we haven't tried yet, and we will try now for everyone watching. Yay! So this is the first up, Osaka caramel flavor, and we also have Okinawa and Kyoto matcha. We actually haven't tried any matcha ones yet, even though matcha is like a pretty common flavor, but we haven't found it. Ta-da! Beautiful. I'm not a fan. It's too caramelly. Like, the caramel flavor one was better somehow. It tasted less like caramel. I do like that it's like a little salty though. It gets 1.5 stars from me.
3.5.
Okay, 3.5 was your most common score.
Very Japanese.
Like the Google Maps reviews are 3.5 for every restaurant. Okay, unboxing. Ta-da! This one tastes like the caramel without the caramel flavor. It's got like the same like light flavor, but I give it 3.5.
3.5
Okay.
from me too.
It's tied with Osaka.
I didn't taste any salt.
Maybe our tastes were like too overwhelmed by the caramel one. We need like a palate cleanser. Last but not least, matcha. Yay! Ta-da!
Very matcha-y.
Yeah, indeed.
Do you like matcha stuff?
It wouldn't be my first choice, but I do like it. Definitely more than caramel. I like it, but I don't know, the chocolate and the matcha are both such strong flavors. Like, I feel like they kind of cancel each other out almost. Like, I can still taste them. It's good, but I can't really distinguish the flavors.
I agree.
I feel like Black Thunder is not going to sponsor us now. I'll give it more stars if you pay us. Still, it's good. I think it's the best out of these. I'll give it 4.
4?
4. I like matcha and chocolate more than I like these flavors. Like, just like as a flavor combination, I think this one's the best. I think if I were to eat any again, it would be the matcha one and then this one. And I would not eat this one. Sorry.
2.
2? Really? That's so low. The lowest?
The expectation was too big.
Mm.
And also it's Kyoto, you know.
Yeah. These are the final scores. Yay.
Do you have any messages to people you met in Japan?
I think that everyone that I've met here has been so kind and so helpful, even though I complained about being the odd one out when I went places. A lot of people who I met in Japan had a lot of sympathy and like understanding for foreigners. Like, people know that it's not easy to speak Japanese, and you know, everyone was always very kind and welcoming. It's one of the things that made me want to come back here one day. I just want to know more about this country. It's really nice. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and keep studying Japanese, and I hope someday you'll be able to read 人間失格 in Japanese.
Thank you. Me too. That's the dream. We should do a follow-up interview in 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
In 1 year, and then it'll be in Japanese.
Great.
And I'll be so good.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your time.
you.